Welcome to another episode of Third and One. Today's guest is the 21st pick of the 2013 CFL Draft, Boseko Lokombo. Thanks for coming on today, Bo.
Yeah, hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
What have you been doing to stay in shape for the CFL season?
Been doing, yeah, I've been doing a lot of just in-home workouts. I've been trying to stay in shape the best I can, doing some push-ups around, sit-ups, and I do a lot of squats. I've kind of already were doing home workouts anyway, because my newborn, I couldn't really move too much. I couldn't really go to the gym a lot like that. So I was already working out at home. I have a couple of dumbbells laying around. I do that. Just try to, and then I go on runs too. So I try to, just maintain. I'm trying not to peak too early either, especially with the season being delayed. I want to make sure when I'm at my peak, I'm in the best shape that I can and have a good season for 2020 if
Okay.
2020 happens.
Yeah, hopefully it happens, right? Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
Mhm.
What age were you when you started playing football? And what time or what point in your life did you know that you can make a career out of this?
I was 14 years old when I started playing football. So I started pretty late. I was in grade 8. Just random. I was in Chieftain and George back in Abbotsford, and one of my teammates was like, "Hey, football tryouts is coming up." And at the time, my older brother was already a pretty big football player. Anyway, he's a couple years older than me, so he kind of inspired me to want to try it. And I've always kind of been a curious kid anyway. And at 14, I tried it. My first position was tight end and defensive end, and I was a really good tight end. So I just fell in love with the game. I love the physicality of the game. I love working with other friends and teammates, and it's football is a very team sport, and I really enjoyed that. And then you know I, I believe it was the following year in grade 10. No, grade 9. I believe it was grade 10. Grade 10 is when I knew I could do this for a living, because there was a play that Coach Kelly had for me, and it was like a double reverse, and I was the guy who was getting the ball. And I remember we were playing Holy Cross, and I jumped over this kid named Billy Green,
Yeah.
and I scored a touchdown. And I was like, wow, like, and everybody was going crazy, like, oh, he just jumped over Billy Green. He was like, Billy Green was like a big deal back then, and I was like, just this little kid try to make a name for myself. And when I did that, I was like, I think I could really do this for a living. And but it's funny that play actually got called back, but it's on YouTube though, by the way, if you want to go check that play. I did jump over Billy Green, cleared him.
That's awesome. I will check that out for sure. I will check that out. Um, you went to the University of Oregon and played with the Ducks. What was your favorite moment of playing NCAA football?
Oh, I think just going to all those bowl games that we went to. We went to every year. We didn't miss a single bowl game. We went to the best bowl games you could think of, from the Rose Bowl to the national championship. And being able to experience all those bowl games probably was my favorite. Probably that was the highlight of playing in the NCAA.
Right. Yeah, that's huge. I mean, you're playing in front of 50,000, 60, 70,000 fans.
Yeah.
College football in the United States is huge. I mean, it's probably just as big as the NFL, you
Oh,
know?
it's huge. It's huge. And the thing about that is you get treated like a god. It's as if you're a pro. You know what I'm saying? Like they hook you up. You eat as much as you need, as much as you want. You get plenty of bowl games. You get plenty of money. Like you get treated like royalty. Like it's very nice. It's like yeah, it's very nice.
That must have been a crazy experience.
Yeah, yeah.
Since I'm a big Philadelphia Eagles fan, I got to ask you what it was like to play for Chip Kelly in Oregon.
Oh man, I love playing for Chip Kelly, and I think the reason why I like playing for Chip Kelly was because he approached it kind of like military style, kind of like very like everybody wears the same uniform, where it's one, we're all in this together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the way he approached his philosophy anyway at the time was really what I liked, and I think that helped us to win all those games that we won, and it made him successful too as a coach. And you got to remember too, with Chip Kelly, when I came into Oregon, he came in too. It was his first year, coming into Oregon. So we kind of like we grew like we were his class, you know, the class of 2009, and we all grew together. We all learned together. So I have a lot of respect for Chip Kelly. You know, despite whatever people say about him, he was a very good college coach.
Okay, awesome, thanks. So the CFL draft was this last Thursday. What are some of your biggest memories from the CFL draft from when you were drafted?
When I was drafted, I was in school still, and I was just coming out of one of my classes. And I remember I had like so many missed calls, so many missed messages, and I knew the draft was coming, but I didn't know I got drafted. I didn't know when I was gonna get drafted. And after my class, I had I had a miss from like Wally Buono. I had a miss from my friends and my
Wow.
father and my mom. Like people just saying, "Hey, congratulations!" You know. And then plus I got drafted by the Lions. You know, my hometown. So it was that much more exciting. But like I couldn't really enjoy it at the time because I was still taking classes. Like I had just finished a big test, and so it was like, and you know, at the time, school was a priority of mine, and I wanted to make sure I got my degree before anything. And so, but it was exciting, man. It was cool. I remember I called my mom, called my dad, and they were so happy. And some of my friends were like, "You should just drop out of school now and just become a pro. Just come play. Just come play." You know, I still had another year of eligibility, so I came back in the following year to get to finish, and the rest is history. So.
Wow. Okay. Are you a big trash talker? And what are some of the worst things that have been said to you on the field?
Okay, I think this last year, I became more of a trash talker. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I changed position. I don't know if it's just because I got more comfortable. But I started just talking to mad trash all the time. I was always talking trash. Um, and like, hmm, um, I don't. People don't really talk trash to me though. I get more compliments than I get being trash talked to.
Wow.
A lot of people were like, oh, like I remember one year because I used to play gunner, and I was a really good gunner in 2015. And I remember they started double teaming me. And I remember they were like, the two guys lined, I don't know, I think it was two guys from the Tiger Cats. And they were like, oh, so you're the best gunner in the league, huh? You're the best gunner in the league. All right, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. And they were both like double teaming me. And I was like moving back and forth, motioning each other. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. So we were both going at it. But that's probably the closest thing as far as trash talking.
That's awesome. Um, how surprised were you to be traded from Montreal this offseason to Toronto? Your rights.
Mm, it did kind of caught me off guard. You know, I knew there was some things going on financially, and you know, with the new GM, I knew something was going to happen. And I knew I knew that the new GM had his own plans, but I didn't think he was gonna, you know, it was nothing about trade or anything like that. If anything, I thought I was gonna get an extension because I did want to re-sign with the Alouettes and like do like another year with them or two. But then when they called me the day before I got traded, and they told me, you know, hey, you know what, like there's some things, you know, your bonus is due, so on and so forth. We can't, you know, we might not be able to to afford you or whatever, so we got to trade you. You know, they were gonna release me, but they ended up trading me. You know, Toronto wanted me, so yeah. So it just like it did catch me off guard, but I think it worked out for the best.
Yeah. I mean, one door closes and another door opens, right? So
Right. Mm-hmm.
you weren't on Instagram at that time, and I was actually really surprised about the trade. And so I reached out to Nelson and I said, "How's Bo doing with the trade?" And Nelson was able to message me back, and he said, "Yeah, he's kind of surprised about it." And
Yeah. Yeah.
yes. All right.
But that's business, though. That's business. It happens. It happens. I'm no what's the word? I'm not mad. You know, everything's good. That's the business. That happens.
Right. Yeah, you got to be prepared for that. So you made the move from linebacker to safety last season. I thought you played really good at safety. Is that the plan, was to maybe keep you at safety, or?
Yeah, it looks like Toronto wants to keep me at safety, and at the same time play me at linebacker too. They really want to use versatility. They want to move me around, stuff like that. From what I've heard, anyway, they really would like, but they like me at safety though. They like me back there, kind of patrolling the high grounds and making sure everything's good. And I like playing safety too. I definitely I like looking back. I wish that I would have played safety my whole career now because it's fun. It's fun. Even though I like playing linebacker, safety is just a different. It just brings a different level to it, and I like that. A little bit more responsibilities for sure.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, you played really well at safety this year, and yeah, you look like you fit right in. So,
Yeah.
so the one thing I've noticed about your game is your ability to play aggressively, but not to cross the line into a dirty player. What do you bring to your game that enables you to do that, to play really aggressively but not be a dirty player?
I think just going back to like high school. I remember with my coach at the time, Dennis Kelly, always used to tell me, you play with your head first before your heart. Like you don't get your emotions get in the way all the time. You gotta think first like, before before you make before you attack, so to speak. And I think that helped me a lot to always think with my head first. I mean, I've never been a dirty player. I don't think playing dirty is fun to me. I know some people like it, some people it turns them on, but for me, it's always been kind of like playing within the lines. You know what I mean? That's more so fun to me, and I I mean, it's helped me a lot, and I think uh, opponents can respect that too. Somebody who gives it their all, but who's a clean player. I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I was just going to mention too about the respect thing. Is I'm sure that it's better to have the respect of your opponent than to be a dirty cheap shot player. So
Yeah.
your hit on Wayne Moore last year against the BC Lions was insane. Probably the craziest hit I've ever seen. And it's funny because I was just watching a top 10 on Sportsnet again a couple nights ago, and they showed it again. And it's probably going to go down as one of the biggest hits in the CFL. What are your thoughts on that hit?
I mean, honestly, I was just trying to win the game. I was just for me, it was like I'm playing the Lions, man. That's my old team. I played for them for 5 years. A lot of respect for them. They should have for me. I had a chip. I had a chip on my shoulder. I just wanted to win the game. I did not care about a hit. I didn't care about anything at the time. That like looking back, I remember they were driving. It was such a close game, and they were about to score. Mike Riley was just like boom, dinking and dunking, burning, Brian Burnham. They're just like attacking us. I was like, man, somebody got to make a play, and I kept telling everybody, I'm like, somebody got to make a play. Somebody got to make a play. And finally, when I saw, and like in the back of my mind, I knew they were gonna run the ball. And when the gap opened up, I just like attacked. My instinct was attack, and I met Wayne, and I actually knew Wayne. I knew him from practice when I was at the Lions. He runs high. He runs high with his chest up.
Yeah.
And I just knew if I got lower than him,
You're just gonna
ooh,
blow him up.
I knew something bad was gonna happen. Um, and it was like it just worked out to my favor. I was the hammer and not the nail. And luckily, Wayne got up. Like it was no big deal. It was a clean, it was a clean tackle. It was very sweet. It felt good. I mean, I was hyped. I was
Yeah.
hyped. I didn't know it was that big of a that loud though. I didn't know it was that loud, but I knew it was a good hit. So I was pretty happy with that one. I was definitely nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of pop on that hit. That was loud.
Yeah, it was nice.
Has there been a point in your career so far that you've wanted to give up? What are some of the biggest challenges that you faced?
Um, just like kind of being overshadowed a little bit. I always felt like I had to, even though I'm a good player, but I always felt a little bit overshadowed. Even when I came in with the Lions, they already had two All Stars. They already had a guy like a Solomon and Adam Big Hill, and like it was really hard for me to kind of step out of their spotlight. And they, no like animosity against them, but I just like I had to make a name for myself some way somehow, and I just like felt like I was held back a little bit, and I think at the time too, a lot of people saw me as somebody who only thought about the NFL, and that's all they thought I wanted, and I wasn't committed, or I didn't care about the game, but I always wanted. Football is football, you know what I mean? When you put the pads on, it's time to play ball, and I think that. Um, there's always been like a misconception of me not caring for the league or not, but I've always had respect for the league. I can even remember back in college they asked me, how would you feel if you played in the CFL? Like, what do you think about the CFL? And I've always had respect for the CFL, and I'm happy. I love playing. I don't even think about the NFL anymore. My time is up with that. So I think that's the biggest challenge to answer. Did I answer your question?
No, you answered the question. Yeah.
So yeah, just being like overshadowed a little bit, and even like with the Alouettes, right? Something that people don't know is I got hurt. I came in with the Alouettes playing linebacker, and I got hurt early. Week one, I got hurt like second quarter, and then they signed Aki,
Right.
but then I came back. I broke 3 ribs. But then when I came back, it was like they didn't like I had to like earn my position again. But then it was like you guys are paying me all this money to have me be a second string to have me back up. Like I know you guys just signed Aki, but I'm supposed to, I'm healthy now. Like I want my spot back. So
Yeah.
I had to fight to, you know, get to even like step on the field with the Alouettes, and if Taylor wouldn't have gotten hurt, I probably wouldn't have even you guys probably wouldn't have even seen a hit like that last year. So I always had to like fight, I always had to deal with adversity, but I like thrive in adversity, so
Yeah. Up to this point in your career, what's been your favorite moment?
up favorite moment. Mm, that's a tough one. Okay, we're gonna have to come back to that one.
Okay, we'll come back to that one. What would you be doing if you didn't play football?
I'd probably get into acting. I like
Okay.
acting. I'm kind of a avid comedian. Like I'm a big comedian. I'm trying to say I'm a fan of comedy. I like comedy, so I would want to get into uh, maybe do a little bit of stand up, practice my art in stand up, write some jokes down, maybe perform in front of crowds, and kind of master that art for that. And then also, yeah, just get into acting. I probably do a little bit of background work and just kind of get my foot in the door with acting, work on screen. I like entertaining. I like making people laugh and kind of being silly and stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Which athlete has inspired you or influenced the most to you?
I'd probably say one, LeBron James. I have so much respect for LeBron James, and the reason why I say him because like you hear about all these NBA, not just NBA athletes, but just athletes in general, and usually they have some closets. I mean, some closets, some bone in their closets. They usually have something bad that's happened to them, but like you never hear anything bad about LeBron James off the court. He's such a great role model for kids, and he's like such a businessman. He's one guy, and another guy I would say is probably like I really was a big fan of Sean Taylor. The way he played, he was probably one of my favorite athletes ever.
Okay. So me personally, I think I got to go with probably Roy Jones Jr. Was just his ability to bring it every night, show up and beat the hell out of people,
Yeah,
do a little bit of trash talking,
yeah, yeah,
and like you said too, not have any ghosts in the closet, so to speak.
yeah.
Um, yeah, just yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's the only one.
For me, I think it'd probably be Roy Jones Jr. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was too small to play basketball. My hands are too small.
yeah.
Um, and then maybe hockey when I was younger, probably Wayne Gretzky when I was a kid. Yeah, just the best at his game. All the highlights in his career, the championships, his personality. Yeah, it's probably Wayne Gretzky.
Okay. Are you a fan of Michael Jordan? Have you been following the Last Dance documentary?
I've been meaning to, but I haven't. But I do want to see it. Yeah, it's on my list. Is it good?
Yeah, it's good so far. Yeah, I'm watching. I'm waiting. The next episode, the next two episodes comes out tomorrow, so I'm waiting for that.
Okay. Is that the same documentary where they were following them through the championship years?
So this documentary is only the last year, '97, when they were going for their sixth ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my list. I'll definitely check it out.
Mm-hmm.
You were a member of the Baltimore Ravens, the Oakland Raiders, and the San Francisco 49ers. What was your time like in the NFL?
My time in the NFL?
Yeah.
My time in the NFL was pretty good, man. It was a pretty awesome experience because I didn't know what to expect really. And like when I signed with the Ravens, I knew it was gonna be a grind because I was just like a nobody, and I felt like they were just using me as like not using me, but they were just bringing me in to be a body for a camp. But then I started, I came in, I went to OTAs and I gained some weight. And then when training camp came around, I started to excel. I was making plays every day almost in training camp. And then when they finally made like the final roster when they're making cuts and stuff, they told me, the special teams guy told me it came between two guys to making the 53. I was one of the guys. I was supposed to make the 53, but I didn't make it simply because the guy who made the 53, the other guy, his mom I think knew the linebackers coach. So his mom was friends with our position coach, and so he put in a good word for him to make the 53. So it came down to no like connections.
Right.
And it didn't come down to skill because I was better than the other guy, but he made the 53 and they put me on the practice squad. And then so then basically what happened was injuries started happening and they needed to bring more bodies, and then they needed to make some cuts. And I was one of the guys who they let go because they just ran out of roster room and probably cap space. I don't know. But it was, being in the NFL was an eye opener because it made me realize like truly at that level, it's way more business than football, than actually enjoying the game, and that sucks. Like I started playing football because I love the fun of it, the fun aspect of it, being able to enjoy a tackle and celebrating with your teammates. But now it was like after a tackle, you don't think about celebrating. All you think about is like, okay, I'm safe for another week. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
You're like, if I don't make a tackle this game, I might get cut tomorrow. Or like, it's really like a mind game. Like you don't enjoy it as much anymore. And it just kind of like takes the fun of it. And that's why I really enjoy playing the CFL because I don't feel that pressure playing in the CFL. I don't feel like, if I have a bad game that I'm going to cut the next day. Like everything will be fine. And I feel like a lot of people forget that football is you're supposed to have fun playing this game.
For sure. Yeah. The first thing should be fun, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you must have felt robbed then when you got cut.
Yeah.
You must have. I mean, obviously you can't hold on to that feeling. You got to let it go. So I mean, but it must have taken a little bit of time though to get it through your head and deal with it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I felt robbed, and when I got cut, they brought me in. They're like, and this is crazy. What they do is they're like we broke out of meetings, and there's like a few. We call them like I forgot. They had a term for the people who call you to go see the guy who's gonna tell you, hey, you've been cut.
Right.
Grim Reapers or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Grim Reaper was like, hey, Bo, I need to talk to you, and I knew right away because it's always the same face. So they're like, yeah, like go upstairs in the office. The GM wants to see you, whatever. So I was like, oh fuck. And then, so when I went up there, sorry for my language, but
It's all good.
when I went up there, he's like, yeah, it's like, hey, right away, they tell you right away, you've been cut. That's the first thing to say. And then they'll be like, we thank you for your time, for visiting, blah, 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 trying to sweet talk you. And then my agent called me next day, or the same day he called me. He's like, don't worry, there's Oakland Raiders already know they want to bring you in for a tryout. So I went to Oakland Raiders. I flew in the next day to Oakland. I did a tryout with them. They signed me the same day. And then the same thing happened with the Raiders. I was only there for 2 weeks. They started dealing with a lot of injuries. And then they brought me into, and they're like, hey, you know what? We're dealing with a lot of injuries. We gotta let you go, blah blah. And then when I got caught with the Raiders, I was actually unemployed. I wasn't on the roster for probably about a month. And then
Wow.
after that, San Francisco brought me in for tryouts, and then I signed with the 49ers. And yeah, so it's such a like once you start to bounce around like that, you don't even really like enjoy the you don't even really like, even when you're like in a roster, even when you sign with the team and you're there, you don't even like, you don't want to make friends really with anybody. All you care about is survival. Like you just want to try to make it, and you can't, like, it's not sincere anymore. You just kind of like lose that touch.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It'd be a different feeling for sure. So your brother Nelson is coming up. I think he's got one more year in college in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Are we looking to see him in the CFL after that, or?
I think so. I already told him, this is a young man's sport. You only have so much time. The sooner the better. Like I told him that, because that's not what it is. He's doing pretty good with school. I don't think he's got too many more classes to go. He's majoring in kinesiology, and he doesn't have too many more classes. And I told him, like, look, man, you've already proven yourself at the college level. You could play this game at the highest level right now. Like, you could play boundary. You could be our starting weak side corner or starting boundary corner easily right now. And so he knows. And I told him about the business, and I told him, so he's very much aware. There's no pressure, but I just told him, like, if you want to play at the next level and you're serious about it, man, make the move sooner than later. Don't lollygag too much. Time is ticking.
Yeah. But I mean, lucky for him though, he's got an older brother and then an older brother, who've gone through the ropes, so to speak. And he can bounce questions off you, or he's got you to look up to, and or you to fall back on, so to speak. So
Mm-hmm.
he's lucky that way.
I really want to, if he makes it, once he make it, I want to, my goal before I retire from the game, I want to play with him. That's it. I just want to play with him at that level. That would be pretty cool. Can make a story out of that.
Yeah, that would be cool. All right, so our time with Boseko Lokombo is almost up, but we're going to get into the last half or last segment of our show, something I like to call quick hits. We'll get into a couple short answer questions with Boseko Lokombo. All right, Bo, number one, your favorite NFL team?
Probably the 49ers right now. And I like the Chiefs.
The Chiefs?
Yeah, I like the Chiefs. For some reason, I have a thing for the Chiefs. I like their uniforms a lot. I think that's what it is. So I got two.
All right, two. That's okay. You're allowed to have two. Your favorite TV show?
Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's tough. That's tough. Uh, Power. I think Power is one of my favorite TV shows. And ooh, I can't think of any other ones right now. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go
All
with
right.
Power.
The worst thing you ever purchased?
I purchased a hat that didn't fit me. I didn't like even try it on. I just purchased it, and it ended up not fitting me and breaking me. And it was a really ugly hat. It was horrible.
All right. Your game day meal?
I usually just like having like a Subway sandwich. Like I actually don't really like eating a lot when I play. I like I said, have a little 6 inch and go play and then eat. It's usually after games is when I eat a lot. But before games, I usually have something really, really small. So I'll have to say a little Subway sandwich.
All right. Your favorite car?
I like Cadillacs a lot and Audis. I like
Okay.
Cadillacs and Audis. Favorite car though, right now is I kind of like that the 325i, the BMW 325i. I just like the look of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I that's up there on my list too. Is the 325s.
Oh,
I like
sorry,
the.
it's not 325i. It's i8, the i8,
Okay.
the BMW i8. Yeah. Not
All right. Shower or bath?
bath.
Oh, I'm so shocked right there. I thought shower for sure.
Bath. Bath because you could just like you could do a lot with bath. You could chill. It's more of a relaxed thing. I don't like when I shower. I take too long to shower, but I feel like when I bath, I could just lay down and like reflect on the day. Put a little bit of Epsom salt, bubble bath, and just chill in the bath. Yeah, bath all the way.
Do you believe in UFOs?
I do believe in UFOs. I
Okay.
do believe in UFOs. UFOs. Yeah. Yeah,
Same with
you can't tell me that we're the only people in this world. It's just human beings. There's other extraterrestrial thing out there. I don't even know if I said that word right. Yeah, UFO. I believe in UFOs.
me too. Same with ghosts. I do think that there's something else out there, and we're not the only ones here. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Your favorite music artist?
I like listening to Afro beats, so I would have to say this guy named Techno. This guy named Techno. He's an Afrobeat guy from, I think, African American. And I also like Kofi Olomide, who's from Africa, from the Congo. And I also like Fally Ipupa, who is also from the Congo. I like my Congolese music.
Okay, right on. What scares Boseko Lokombo the most?
I think going to prison. I think
Wow.
like
Okay.
I think like like something um yeah, just like and like wasting your life in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like going to prison would be the worst thing ever because you're just not doing anything. Like yeah,
You,
you're probably prison, and then yeah, that's it.
that's yeah. No, I hear you on the prison thing. I mean, you're just sitting there in a cell for 25 years or whatever it is, rotting away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's can't be a very good time in prison.
No, and like even and like what scares me is like it could be you could go to prison for something for you could wake up one day and then the next and you could like and I don't wish this on anybody, but this is how easy it is. You could wake up one day, decide to drive, and you just drive it, and somebody like crosses the road and you kill them or something. Something happens, and then all of a sudden you're like in prison like the next day or whatever or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It could change. It could happen like this. It could happen so fast. And it's like you gotta really value your life, and I value my life.
Me too.
And
There's a lot of things too, like people going to prison for something they didn't do,
yeah,
or things like that. So,
100%, 100%. Yeah.
all right, Bo. So that does it for today. I want to
Okay.
thank you for coming on to the show. I appreciate you spending the time and doing this podcast with me. It
All
was a
right. All
great
right.
time. All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you. Man. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Bo.